maximum cross stitch power hour. It's going to be maximum, it's going to be cross stitch, but it will not be an hour. I don't think. I don't have a lot of content. I'm actually having to like pull content out of thin air. Whatever. Glad to be back. Glad to see you. Hope you all had a good holiday and that you are deep into your stitching with renewed sense of vigor. And I hope that all of your New Year's resolutions were to get more time in for stitching, because that's the priority. I was watching Christy Crosshatch Quilts yesterday, and she was talking about how much she loves cross stitch and how much it means to her, and I swear she got a little misty. And she says, but you guys get it, and we totally do. The last thing I think about at night is cross stitch. The first thing I think about in the morning, cross stitch. So yeah, I hope you're making lots of time to make lots of X's. I've had a good couple of months. Lots has happened, has gone on. If you follow me, then you'll know that I recently launched my own cross-stitch design company, Maximum Cross Stitch. And I've put out 3 charts so far with Caroline at Evertote. So I have 3 charts with her, and a few more on my website that aren't available in print, but that I've made available as PDF. So right now, charts that will be available for print, charts that will be available for print will be sold through Caroline for now. She has the exclusive for a little while, but eventually I'll be making it available to any brick and mortars that want them. But right now, Caroline has exclusive. And I have my website where I offer PDFs. And not all of my charts will be available in print, so go over there, check it out. Maybe there's some extra little bits and bobs that you might like. Not much there now because I'm just building up my portfolio, but hopefully more in the future. Anyway, I'm having fun with it. I'm not going to become a millionaire by designing cross-stitch, but as my friend Ryan says, this is an extension of your hobby, Ellen, and that is the spirit that I have gone forward with. Anyway, let's get down to it. Oh, and more stuff that I did. More stuff that I did that's interesting because it's about me. I went to the workshop at Evertote in London, Ontario, hosted by Caroline and her fantastic crew there at Evertote, and had a really good time and met some nice people and did some stitching, and yeah, it was good. If you're in the southern Ontario area and you're able to go to one of Caroline's workshops or open houses, they're really fun. I think the next one actually is going to be a workshop. She's got big plans about classes and lectures and just open stitch days. So that'll be coming down the pike. I don't know when she's got her next one planned for, but they're good fun. So I highly recommend it. As I say, I don't have much content that I can show you because since I launched Maximum Cross Stitch, I have been stitching nothing but models. In fact, I had 27 finishes in 2022, out of which 21 were models. So I don't actually even have my finished models that I've done for myself and for Evertote. I don't have them with me. They're hither and yon. So I'm having to sort of scrape and scramble with it to get stuff to show you, but I do have stuff. I thought it would be fun to show you, to start off, some old finishes, old fully finished objects that I have. Maybe I've shown them before. I know I have shown one, but some others I haven't. Just to show you, because you like the stitchy things, like me. Long time ago, when the earth was green, there were more kinds of animals than you. I did needlepoint. I didn't do cross stitch, and I made a series of pet portraits. Now, when I say I designed them, yeah, I designed them, but these are not fancy things. But I designed a series of pet portraits, and I'll show them to you. Sorry about the glare. This is Scooby. She's no longer with us. She was soft and old and shedded more than you can possibly imagine. This is done in wool on needlepoint canvas, 18 count. This is Rue, sweet and sour. She smelled funny, but she was very sweet, and she used to sleep under the covers with me in the crook of my arm. She was Brian's cat when we first moved in together, but she quickly became my cat. She is no longer with us. I miss her. This is Gracie, cute and evil. She was my dog, my very first dog. I adopted her in 2002 when I was going back to school full time. It was not the right time to get a dog, but she was a high maintenance dog, but very smart, and I think probably smarter than me. Maybe that's why I had trouble understanding what she wanted. But she was a cute little dog and good, and that's pretty much exactly what she looked like. She was a Sheltie. She is no longer with us. She was a dearie, a weird, needy dearie. This is Fiona. She is still with us. When we first got her, she was our only cat at the time, and she loved this ball. We call it stair ball, because she used to drag it up to the top of our stairs. We live in a tall, skinny house, and so we have 3 floors, and she used to take it up to the top floor and then throw the ball down, chase it, blah, 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 and then bring it back up. So she liked to play stair ball, as we called it. And that's Fiona. Awesome and weird. After we got our next cat, Wayne, she became less... I think she just got very disgruntled because she liked being the only cat. And so now she spends most of her time going to Wayne. And my last pet portrait so far is Sam. He's our black lab. He is almost 12, and yeah, things are slowing down for our old boy. He's in his golden years, but we love him, and he's just a big, happy goofball, and he's been a wonderful puppy. And again, all these are done in Patterné wool on needlepoint 18 count canvas. So those are my pet portraits. Those are my designs, my cartoons that I needlepointed. But I wanted to show this one again because this is so beautiful. This is inspiration by Rosewood Manor, and I finished this probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I think it's still one of my very favorite finishes. I can't believe how beautiful it is. My stitching is okay. This was one of my first things that I did that wasn't on Aida. This is on 32 count even weave, like just antique white or something like that. It wasn't anything fancy. But yeah, I did a little over one people. Sorry about the glare, folks. I know. There's a little people in their church and whatnot. But yeah, that border. Tons of color changes. Didn't matter. It was just too beautiful. Oh. Yeah, this has got to be one of my very favorite stitches. The sigh. Again, that's inspiration by Rosewood Manor. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, so those are some old finishes. I have a new fully finished object that I picked up from the framer about a week ago. No, 2 weeks ago. And this is Little Willow Landscape by Leslie Teare. You can find her on Etsy, Teare. This is done on 36 count white Zweigart that I briefly tea-dyed, and with a call for DMC. Lots of sort of black work or navy work and back stitching. Look at the border. Oh, come on. I'm sorry about the glare, but what can you do? It's just so sweet. I haven't found a permanent place to hang it yet. Oh, I just like looking at it. Sorry, you can look at my chin while I'm looking at my picture. Yeah, it's pretty. There's a few by her that I'd like to do. But yeah, I love the frame. I would have liked it to be a little closer. My framer like doesn't understand why I would want to get it closer to the stitching. It's like a hairdresser that does what they want to do. But you're okay with it. It's like whatever. But yeah, I would have liked it a little closer in, but yeah, it's good. I like it. I gotta find a permanent place for it. So that's my fully finished object. Oh no, I have two more that I have with me. This is my designs that are available on my website. This is Todd and Derek. These are two little pin cushions. And this is The Adventures of Derek and Todd. This is Stitchy Meetup. And this is Tea Party. These little guys are available both in the same chart on my website, MaximumCrossstitch.com. I've already designed 6 others of these two doing fun things together, but I haven't quite got around to stitching them. And they're just finished into little pin cushions, and they're pretty cute. My friend Michael did the finishing for me. Yep, so those are my fully finished objects. Works in progress. Most of my works in progress have been models. Boring for you. And not really here that I can show anyway, because one is being, 2 or 3 are actually being made into the final finished object. One is here framed, and that'll be released in a few weeks. I've got 3 more that are coming up next week, but I'll talk about those later. Works in progress. I know that a lot of you took part in the holiday countdown from Evertote, Roxy Flosco, and Modern Folk Embroidery, and I did too, and I loved it. I wonder if I have all my threads handy. Is this it here? No. Are these the threads? These are the threads. Nope. Are these the threads? Yeah, these are some of the threads, but I've already sequestered the threads for other things. But here's some of the threads. Oh, so good. So good. Oh, I've been lobbying for some of these to be included in the permanent collection, but I don't know if they'll listen to me or not. So the countdown, you know, it was 25 days, new stitching, new thread, and yeah, it's been really fun keeping up. And this is how far I got. I finished day 1. This is day 1, Tannenbaum, and I didn't get any further. I might just sequester this fabric for something else. This is 36 count Panettone from Evertote, obviously, and Roxy Flosco, because I don't know if I'm going to stitch the band sampler. It's beautiful, but I think it's not a surprise anymore because I've seen everyone do it and they're beautiful finishes of it. So I don't know, it's kind of taking the wind out of my sails for it. But it is beautiful. So maybe I'll do it. I don't have to make any decisions this moment. But yeah, that's my mega start on that. What else? Oh, at the end of December, I finished, like, I had done nothing but models for 3 months. And my models. And I was tired of stitching my own stuff. So I wanted to drag out some old whips and you know, have some fun stitching on stuff that I wanted from other people. So I brought this out. This is by Sheena Rogers. Etsy. It's called Oriental Dragon. And And I am doing this over 1 on 28 count mushroom Lagana. And here's my progress. Oh, and here comes my cat. She's going to jump up on, I've got my camera up on my ironing board, and she's going to jump up on the ironing board and just create havoc. But yeah, here's my progress on my Chinese dragon. I'm doing 2 threads a day. That's what I'm sort of telling myself that I'm going to do, because I find working on something this small and full coverage kind of hurts my hand a little bit. That's why one of the reasons why I haven't done any more work on my Heaven and Earth designs is because if I work too long on it, my hands get cramped up. My hands are bad enough as they are. But yeah, there she is. Hey, Fiona. Awesome and weird. That's her. Just settle down, little girl. So yeah, there it is. It's cute, and it's, you know, look how little it is. I have a frame that might, Fiona, just settle down. I have a frame that will fit it like very close, but that's what I want. And if it doesn't, then, you know, I might take it in and get it framed with a great big oversized black frame. That would look quite dramatic. Yeah, I feel like I don't have much to go. You can see where the spaces are. There's little spaces in here too where it looks finished that I have to go back with a magnifier and see. But yeah, I should be able to chug away at that. I'm just, as I say, doing that on 28 count Lagana, mushroom Lagana over 1 using this kit supplied DMC. I put a few stitches into Il Fazzoletto by Modern Folk Embroidery, but not for a long time, so I'll just show it to you because it's ridiculously huge. The thing about this one is it's so beautiful, but I honestly don't think that I'll get it framed. And that's probably why I haven't worked on it, is because I'm not anticipating there being a finished, you know, a fully finished object out of it. It's just too big. This is on 40 count white Zweigart that I tea dyed very briefly. So if this is on 40 count, can you imagine this on 32? Like, who would have the wall space for it? But it's so beautiful, and it's so different that I am compelled to work on it from time to time. I love those alphabets. Not even sure if you're seeing it all. Yeah, but that's Modern Folk Embroidery, Il Fazzoletto. I think there's even like a red version of this. That's quite pretty. Like a monochrome one. I think it's monochrome. And that one I keep in my very favorite ever tote bag. This is my favorite one. Or is it? This is one of my favorite ones. The other one has birds on it. That one is also my favorite. I love this. Oh, this is the one, because it does have birds on it. See, there's a bird. Yeah, this is my favorite ever totes bag. Blue and gold. Next, what's this? Oh, Margaret Beatty. I only put in a few threads of this after my last Flosstube, but I'll show it anyway because it's really great. Margaret Beatty, Hands Across the Sea, doing this on 56 count Seraphim in Dusty Road using the called for 103s. Look how tiny, oh, that's the bag. Look how tiny this is. So yeah, finished the alphabets. Now getting on to the spot where I'll have to do the little girl and her bunny. I have a copy of the chart that is missing the middle section. It's just a little bit of an error, printing error. So I have to make sure I can find the errata page so I can fill that in. Sorry I didn't iron it. But you get the idea. Oh, the colors are so sweet in this. Although I just don't like peach. Don't like peach. I wish that border was a little bit less peach. Oh, and here comes my cat. Just settle down. There you go. Margaret Beatty, and I have that in a bag that was made for me. by Olivia B. Oh, she made this for me because she knows I love this stuff. I'd like to have bedding that looks like this. So that's that. And my last work in progress is, sorry, it's in a bag that was made for me by Rai McGuy. It's Calamity Wear Blue Willow. It's the best. Oops. This is Sarah Brazier by Hands Across the Sea. This is a limited edition Queen of the May chart, 2018. And when I was in the attic, when I was at the attic in August, they had a few copies of this. So if you want to stitch this, call the attic because they might still have them. But yeah, this is a stunner. And I'm using called for DMCs, blah, 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 blah. And I'm doing this on, let me take it off the Q snap, on 36 count Winter White from Seraphim. I love Seraphim. Right. And I will need every bit of this fabric because it is a biggie. There he is. I know I shouldn't be doing the satin stitches as I go because I don't want to crush them with my Q-snap, but I'm doing it anyway. And if they get crushed, I'll just cut the ones out that get crushed and do them over again. I love doing satin stitches, and there are a lot of satin stitches in here. I had hoped to get this section done, this last corner section, because that would be the full length of like the top row done, but I wasn't able to pull it off because I wanted to get this filmed. But it's gorgeous. Those satin stitches just glow. I love it. And this is just DMC. Just DMC, you know. I'm thinking I might change a color or two though. And I know that I feel like there's something sacred about Hands Across the Sea. You can't change their colors, but that's not true. You can. And people who say, you know, you got to keep it historically accurate. Well, just by the act of charting this, like reproducing this, Nicola Parkman and the folks at Hands Across the Sea have already preserved the history of this chart. It's done. Like this will exist for as long as, you know, we have digital media and print. So I don't feel like I should be compelled to be completely changed to what our girl Sarah Brazier did. There's a lot of peach in those flowers, and I'm thinking of maybe warming those up to a raspberry. I don't know if you can see them. Can you see them? Let's see, I'll put my glasses on. Like, where? Like in here. Like that peach? Not so much. I think I can get away with a raspberry without it, because, you know, taking away from the, like, I love the green and gold sort of feel of this. And I think if I changed it to a raspberry, because there's not a ton of it, there's just a little bit. I don't know, I just hate peach. I like pink, I don't like peach. So yeah, I'll try it, and if it doesn't work, we'll take it out. Obviously, I'm not in a hurry to get this done. I've only got up to, you know, this is the first row. So I've got a fair bit to go, and there's not a lot of stitching in that top part. It gets pretty heavy in here and down here. So yeah, this will take me some time. But I'm gonna work on this until I don't want it anymore, and then I'll move on to something else. But yeah, sorry, I have to put this back in my bag. One more look, because it's so pretty. Oh, look. I love it so much. Is anyone else stitching Sarah Brazier? Do I have any stitchy company on this one? This was a stitch along that I started with Ryan McGuy in December of 2021, and we called it the BAPHATS, BAP hats, big ass project hats. And he started Mary Clark. It's a band sampler from like 1799 or something like that. And I think we're sort of probably both about the same amount of stitching done percentage-wise. But it's there for when we want it. Okay, so those are my whips. Yep, those are my whips. Haul. Don't have a lot of haul. But I'll show you what I have. With the holiday countdown, this was the Christmas Day 25th that we opened this chart for Modern Folk Embroidery. This is lovely. This I think I will stitch on something tiny to make it like a postcard. It's beautiful. He's a genius. We know that. We know it to be true. I have got a few charts, but not much. I really didn't do my usual. Oh, this is a gift actually. This was a gift from Carrie at Roxy Floss Co., who went to a little stitch retreat, and this was on, I think this was on the freebie table. Someone was giving it away, and so she knows my love of Asian design, and so she picked this up for me. Gonna be honest with you, not gonna start it tomorrow, Fiona. But even if I just did like a square of this, just this pattern, oh, like it'll be like a Mari porcelain. I just love it. Thanks, Carrie. I got this. This was a gift too. This was a gift. I asked Laura Duet, Modern Mozart, from Brenda and the Serial Starter. She's the Serial Starter. When I was at the attic in August, I had gone specifically to, this was on my list of things to get. And this, if you saw my haul video from that, I got like 20 charts from the attic, and I forgot to get this one. But it's Polly by the Traveling Stitcher. So Laura picked it up for me when she was there for summer school, and she gave it to me and let me pay for it. Isn't that great? Oh, I love Good Bird. This one is very antique-y though, isn't it? Very aged looking. It says here it's from 1870. Beautiful. So I got that. Thank you, Laura. And then I got this. Well, my friend Ryan McGuy, he was ordering this, and he asked me if I wanted to get in on it, and I did. So he ordered from the Alte Museumscher Museum. The original is in the Rijksmuseum in Amsterdam, and this is called LDR 1753. And that house is bananas. I think this would be a blast to stitch. That border might get a little tedious after a while, but maybe not. Can't be any worse than Dutch Beauty, which I haven't framed yet. Yeah, so that's one I got. And I think that's it for, no, that's not it for haul. That's it for haul charts. I guess you've all heard about Cedar River Linen and Design. Well, I got me some. First of all, this, you have to go and watch Trixie Tricycle. Jody at Trixie Tricycle is the genius behind Cedar River Linen and Design. And her whole philosophy behind what she does and how she does it is really great. And I think that's going to bode well for her in the future. I think the sort of environmental aspect to how she does things is, it's pretty forward thinking. And I think it's very good and something that we need to support. She doesn't use any plastic at all, and her dyes are all environmentally friendly. And her linens are amazing. It came with this. I know you've all seen this thing before, but this is, these were made by Beth Twist's husband. So I got the full complement of linen plus some. Smells so good. I don't know what you use, Jody, but it smells like something from my childhood, and I don't know what it is. It's good. So I got a couple of, this is 36 count overcast. Sorry. It's got stuff on it. That's pretty true. Well, there. Yeah, it's kind of like it's like a light to medium neutral. Where's the other one? This one, Alborium, Albadabada, Albarium, 40 count. That's the difference. This one is the lightest and this one is the second lightest. So good. And I also got some 36 count Albarium. I don't know why I'm unwrapping it. I got a half yard. Or no, is this a quarter? I think this is a half yard actually. Oh, so beautiful. I had plans for this. Oh, but the smell, it smells so good. Sorry about the tissue paper crumpling. So I got the 36 count, the 40, this is a yard or a half yard. This is a quarter of 36 count overcast. Here is a quarter of 40 count overcast. This is 40 count Tephra. This is a quarter. This is her sort of mid-neutral. Buttery looking. I love it. This is getting washed out a little bit. It's a little bit more golden. Very good. And a big chunk of red cedar. This is 40 count red cedar. So good. That's her logo. I also got a chunk of 32 count arboreal, but I'll talk about that in a minute because it's happening. So yeah, got those beautiful linens from Jody. She's I think a 4 to 5 week wait now because everything's just exploded. Everyone is very excited about it. It's beautiful linen to work on. It smells great, as I've mentioned 3 times. And just the philosophy behind it, I think, is a good thing to check out. I got a little present from my friend Gwyneth. She got me this little bag. And in this little bag were some needles, some hand cream, some silksins in the color of my eyeballs. A needle minder. And there was something, oh, there's this ribbon that is for a pull, a zipper pull. And there was something else in here, but I've used it. Because there were needles in here, Peacemaker needles. Maybe that's what I've used. And this cute little bag. Thanks, Gwyneth. Love it. And I think, oh, I know I got Christmas cards, and I got, is this it? I got pins from Cindy. Cindy, I don't know where I put them. I think they might be downstairs with my Christmas cards. But she gave me some cute little counting pins and a nice Christmas card. I also got from my friend Rara McGuy a Mini McBean's frippery. I have to put this on now. Brooch, headband, pterodactyl. So that was really cute. Thanks, Ryan. And he also got me some hand cream that I am currently almost out of because I use it every day. I think that's it for gifts. and haul. So thanks everyone, and thank you for watching this far. Let's see what else. 35 minutes. Wow, that's longer than I thought. Let's talk about what I would like to stitch if I wasn't stitching models all the time. When I decided that I was a little burnt out on model stitching and I wanted to stitch something else, I went through my stash. I went to my stash and I just hauled out everything that I would love to start. So why don't I show you? Because we all like looking at pretty things. So here are all the things that I would start if I wasn't having to stitch models all the time. And I'm gonna maybe slow down on the models because I've got 3 coming out and then 3 more that are ready to go for like February, March. So I'm good for models right now. I can take a break. This one has been on my to-do list for years, but I stopped because I need to dumb down the colors a little bit and come up with a replacement verse. And also the figures on this are a little bit disconcerting, but I think I still want to do it. Eleanor Parr. Look at the border. Look at those wacky birds. Eleanor Parr by the Scarlet Letter. I love the Scarlet Letter. I have some older Scarlet Letter charts that I'd like to do, but they're kind of hard to read, so that deters me. But yeah, I think I'd like to dumb down those birds, make them a little bit more antique-y looking, less bubblegummy. And I mean, the colors are probably taken from the back of the sampler. This is probably exactly what the original stitcher stitched. But I'm not her, so I can do something else. But yeah, it's glorious. This would be a few years' work. Oh, it's a biggie. And I don't think there's any specialty stitches. Oh, I even have most of the DMC ready to go for that. So there's that one. Oh, there's a rogue last bit of asparagus from Roxy Floss Co. I've got Roxy Floss Co. everywhere. Like, look at this mess. Big pile of Roxy Floss Co. Wall of DMC and Roxy Floss Co. I love it. That's just, those are my other overdyes. Anyway, back to charts that I want to start. Chessie and Me, Sarah's Basket. I think I saw either Brenda or Carol Saltbox showed this, their finish on this. I think it was Brenda. And I think it's so sweet. I love it. I love the colors. I love the shape of it. It would be nice framed too, wouldn't it? Not just as a pillow. Like, how many little tiny pillows do I need? My cats say many. But yeah, it's very sweet. Oh, there's a rogue skein of a 612 by DMC. If you know me, you know that I have about 40 skeins of 612 by DMC. I actually did start this one, Snowbird by Michelle, Bendy Stitchy Designs. I started this on Christmas Day for a Christmas Day start, and I got 2 colors in, and I was so off on everything that I had to just rip everything out, and I got frustrated. But I do want to do this. Like, it's such a small thing. How could I screw it up so badly that I was compelled to just abandon ship? It's so sweet. I want to do it without the words. And I might change, there's some étoile back here, some sparkly stuff. I don't think I'll do that. I might figure out, I might just leave it out. But it's so sweet. Yep, so I might do that one. And that would be a quickie too. It's 64 by 64. And do that with DMC. With the Coming of Spring, Jane Cheeseborough by 1897 Schoolhouse Samplers. I'll take it out. I got this for Christmas from my brother a couple years ago, and I haven't started it yet, and I don't know why. It's so darling. It's just the sweetest little sampler. It's a lot of grass, but Be a good for like going to a retreat or when you're at a Stitchy meetup or whatever, or on a plane, which I'll be doing soon. So maybe I'll take this on the road with me. Might punch up the colors in the border a little bit. They're a little peachy. But I love it. I love the little lambs. They are the weirdest looking lambs. So Jane Cheeseborough was not, you know, a great artist who could. Oh, here's the original. Look at those misshapen little things. Yeah, she did a great job with the repro. I don't know the name of the woman who does this. Leanne. She has great charts. You can find them at, is she on Etsy? Oh, she's in Canada. I knew that. I've talked to her. I know she's Canadian. Yeah, you should check her out. She's got some really great charts. 1897 Schoolhouse samplers. Yeah, check her out. So that's on my I wish I could stitch list. Meow. I blame this and a couple others on Rachel from Needle and Flax. Everything she shows, I want to stitch. Everything. It's dangerous to watch her. I just watched her latest one, and bananas. Just everything was gorgeous. But this I got inspired by, I think this would have been in the summer because I went with a list to the attic. And this is 1830 Margaret Kramer sampler by Handwork Samplers. Look at the border. Look at it. Are you looking? Are you looking? Oh, border and all those crazy animals. Oh, I love it. And it's charted for DMC. And the only over one is the name and date. Yeah. Margaret Kramer sampler. Handwork samplers. Oh, Handwork samplers. I just swore. Handwork samplers. Yeah. Oh, and here comes another one that... Oh, here comes my other cat. Hi, Mickey. You're not sitting on my linen. Go away. God. Weasels tearing at my flesh. Here's another one that was inspired by our dear Rachel at Needle and Flax. I'm taking it out of the plastic because I care. Hannah Starkey, 1836. Oh, again, look at the border. Look at the size of this guy and his dog and then the house. But look at the border and look at this. Don't you want to do this? I totally do. Change the verse, but that wouldn't be trouble at all. Oh my gosh, look at all the little birds over this house. Look at those tiny birds. There are some over one stitches. It's beautiful. Rachel, I hate you. Although I love her hair, and that's why I've let my hair down today, because I want to be like Rachel and have hair like her. Thinking of letting my hair go gray. What do you think about that? I'm getting very divided advice on that. Some people say, yes, do it, and some people say, no. I think you have to have really good skin if you can get away with gray hair. We can all get away with gray hair. What am I talking about? It's a normal part of aging, but you know what I mean. Another chart I'd love to do is by my dear wife, Beth. This little guy. Look how cute that is. What is it called? Ann Dexter. Look at how cute. And this is in Small Samplings, a collection of antique needleworks by Beth's Twist of Heartstring Sampleries. There's a lot of fun things. Look at this one. This is a great little book. Highly recommend. I was going to get her to sign it because I think I bought it when I met with her and Michelle at Acorns and Threads in August with Jody, but I didn't because I'm stupid. Yeah, so that's on my list. Her stitch is on my list, cause her stitch, I can't resist, because her stitch is on my list of some things to do. Chessie and me, let my examples shine. This is a little needle book. I will not do it as a needle book. It'll be a teeny tiny little picture. Do it on some kind of obnoxiously small count and just make it like a fit on your thumb. I'll make a thumb mitten. It'll just go on my thumb. It's a thumb warmer, but I love it. Mojo Stitches. Love the stuff from Mojo Stitches. This is a great bird. Among the Roses. Like, what's not to love about this? This would be a great angsty bird. I do love an angsty bird. Come up with something offensive to put under it. But it's a beautiful bird. It's charted with, there's a DMC conversion, but the model is done with Weeks Gentle Arts, Classic Color Works. Yeah. It's a beauty. The Pink Sparrow sampler. I saw someone, maybe it was Carol, who showed this, that she'd finished it. Like it was an old finish for her. I can't remember. Maybe it was Nicole. There's so many of you who do so many good things. Yeah, this is by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I love it. It's small too. It's doesn't have the stitch count, but it doesn't look 137 by 169. Not a problem at all. That's totally doable and beautiful. Hi, come here. This is Mickey. I don't know if you've ever met her. She's our black cat. She doesn't like being held. None of our cats do. Hi. Another Brenda Gervais. It's Gervais, right? I'm having a mental block. It's Gervais, not Gervais. Gervais. With Thy Needle and Thread. Elizabeth Hunt, 1845. That border. Someone else, oh, Brenda. I think Brenda finished this recently. I just love that border. It's so neat. It's neat. Yeah, so I'd love to do this. Like, this is classic. What one might call a perfect sampler. No, Laura? What's the stitch count on this? 234 by 314, so it's not small. Wow, I thought it was smaller than that, but whatever. Nice repeating border. Hopefully an exact repeating border, but yeah, I'd love to do that. Eliza Bell Cox from Hands Across the Sea. I think I just want to do the bird. Although that border, freaking glorious. Come up with something subversive to put in the verse. Oh, it's a good one. Everyone's on a Hands Across the Sea kick right now. And with good reason. They're just good charts, and they find great things to reproduce, and they do them really well, obviously. That's why they're so amazing. It's a good one. Another Chessie and Me, Out on a Limb. Again, I would not do this as a sort of a sewing, what is it, a needle, doesn't say what it is. It's a needle roll, a pin cushion, and a scissors fob. I wouldn't do it as that unless I was doing it as a gift for someone. Yeah, I would just find something like this little pin cushion with the cat. Love it. Teeny tiny, put it in a little, 2x2 frame. Love it. And another one this is by Needlework Press. This is Out on a Limb. I saw this at the attic when I was there in August, and I'd never seen it before, and it's kind of perfection. This is totally at my street. I wouldn't do that. I think that was just something they added on for interest, and it's great, but I would just leave it out. Maybe just this little thing to anchor it, but not the words. But look at those crazy birds. That's so sweet. And I love the orientation of it, you know. It's long and skinny, a little bit different. It uses Classic Colorworks with a DMC conversion. Yeah, you can get this at the attic or any fine needlework store where they sell needlework press charts. The stitch count is 85 by 206. That's pretty cool. This one, Indigo Lane by Brenda Gervais with my needle and thread. Come on. What's not to love about this little guy? I would love to do a Leo and Roxy conversion of this because I love Leo and Roxy's greens and blues. I love all their stuff, obviously, but Roxy Flossco, they're called Roxy Flossco now. Indigo Lane. Stitch count is something by something, and very doable, I think. I like the sort of basket weave grass there. Yeah, it's a good one. And finally, this one I want to start. Very, very much so. Very much so. And a few of you are working on it. It's fantastic. Elizabeth Furness. It's an epic one. What's the stitch count in this beast? 347 by 358. Yeah, so it's a biggie. I think the one thing that deters me is I'm not 100% in love with the colors in the border, which when I look in this picture, I like, but when I see them stitched, when I see people stitching them with the called for colors, it's a little bright. Dumb them down. And maybe I could just remove some of the elements. I wonder if I could just like not have the Adam and Eve and just have the tree. I could fart around with it, but yeah, it's the classic. It's probably one of my favorite. Hands Across the Sea. This one and Sarah Brazier. You can't go wrong. Beautiful. Yeah, so that's just a few of the things that I would stitch if I didn't have to stitch models all the time, which I don't, because it's not my job. It's an extension of my hobby. Maybe I'll show you a couple things that are coming soon. I'll show you a little freebie I'm working on. This is just a little freebie that I'll finish up and put on my website. It's just a little castle with some foliage beside it and a bird. There's going to be a sun in the center, and the grass doesn't go down very far. That's as far as the grass goes down, where you see the bottom there. Simple little one-line border. Yeah, just a little freebie I'm going to throw up when it's done. A little freebie I'm going to throw up. Ignore me. I've got 3 releases coming out next week. Caroline sent them to the printer, and so they'll be available for print from Evertote next week. Today is January 7th, 2023. So next week they'll be available at Caroline's, and the PDFs will be at my website, Maximum Cross Stitch. I'll give you a little sneak peek of one that would be available. This is the Ravens at Kerr Castle. Or Castle Kerr. What did I call my own design? Castle Kerr, I think. This is sort of an adaptation, interpretation of a castle that is in my distant past, my family's ancestors. I think everybody whose last name is Kerr is related to the Kerrs from the Jedburgh, Edinburgh, Scotland area. And so this is called the Ravens at Castle Kerr. This is not the Kerr tartan. It's just an homage to Scotland in general. This house is done in Smyrna crosses, but I charted it for regular cross stitch. The roof is done in satin stitch within a scallop, but I charted it just for regular cross stitch, and there is no over one, little bit of back stitching for the flagpole. But yeah, that was really fun to stitch, lots of blocks of color. This is on 36 count prairie grass from Seraphim using Roxy Flossco flosses. I have a DMC conversion as well. But the DMC conversion won't have, obviously, the variegation that you find with an overdye. But yeah, I had fun stitching this one. The Ravens at Castle Kerr. And yeah, that's it for upcoming ones. Oh, I was going to show you what I'm doing on the green. Was it Arboreal from Trixie Tricycle from Cedar River Linen and Design. This is the beautiful linen. This is 32 count Arboreal. Again, smells like something delicious. And I am doing a vague reproduction. It's more of an adaptation. I got this pillow online. This is from the 1800s, but the design is based on something from the 1900s. So it was based on something from the 1700s, stitched in the 1800s. And it's this cushion with this sort of Jacobean leaves and flowers, and this pair, these twos with these dogs or wolves or whatever, with the classic sort of blue and green hills. So I want to do an adaptation of this, and maybe you can tell me what you think. Should I adapt it stitch for stitch? Because there's a ton of over one. The people are done over one. Some of the flowers, the interior of the flowers are done over one. It's done in wool. And it's full coverage. And that's why I'm doing it on this, is so that it doesn't have to be full coverage. Would you rather me, if you were going to stitch this or something like this, would you rather I do an adaptation for full crosses, and it wouldn't be exactly like this, it would be an adaptation, you know, it would recall this, it wouldn't be this? Or would you rather have stitch for stitch with the 1 over 1, and so that it looks exactly like this? Both options are fine. One is more work than the other, but you know, I want stitchers to be happy. But I love it, like these crazy flowers. There's a lot of thread loss in some of this, so it would have to be an adaptation in that regard, because I wouldn't be able to read the mind of the original stitcher. But yeah, and it's just a woven, or is that stitched? That might be stitched, like needle pointed. The back, I think, is needle pointed. I'm not taking it apart to find out the original colors. I'm just going to go with the front and punch up a few colors so that it works on the linen. I'll show you what I have so far. Because so far I've been going with it as an adaptation, not a direct reproduction, because I don't know if I can stomach all that over one. But this is what I have so far. And it looks pretty cool, I think. I have to find a good red, because this red is fine, but then there's more sort of rosy pinks and red, and the ones that I've been using are a little bit too pink. I need something with a little bit of rusty quality to it. But yeah, so that's how, I mean, that's nothing really, but yeah, that's something I'm working on for the future. So what would you want? Would you want an exact reproduction or an adaptation, which would be simpler? Looks like I'm over an hour now, so I guess it is maximum cross stitch power hour. True and true. Wife of the week. My dear wife, of the week this week is, she's very popular. She's an incredible resource, and not too recently, like in the last year or two, she's started designing, and she has come up with some amazing charts. She's cute as a button, and funny as crazy, funny as crap. If crap is funny, if crazy crap is funny. I'm talking about Michelle, Mama Loves You GB, our Welsh princess. She is my wife of the week because she's smart and funny and kind and good. Everything I would want in a wife. And she's a smoke show, so that's also what I want in a wife. So Michelle, Mama Loves You GB, you're my wife of the week. Mwah! Love you. My bit on the side. Hang on. My bit on the side. Let me get a little bit of something going on here. My bit on the side this week. I can't even do that because of the bags and my eyes. My bit on the side this week. I met recently at the retreat at Caroline's, the workshop open house thingy. She's delightful. She's kind. She's sweet. She's, she's hot. She's hot. And, I'd totally cross-stitch with her all night long. I'm talking about Susan, the blue crab stitcher. I'll meet you at the Motel 6 later for hot times and stitching and possibly snacks. Susan, you're my bit on the side. Wow. I think that's it, gang. Ugh. Oh, you know what I should do? I should do a giveaway. I haven't done a giveaway in donkeys. So why don't I give away a PDF from my website? So what should the question be? Can you hear my cat meowing? She's got the cutest meow. For one PDF from my website, the question is, what will my keyword be? I could make you say something like, I could make you come up with a sentence that has the word farts in it. That would be funny for me, maybe not so funny for you. So why don't we just say sampler? You can use that in your answer to the question of what you would rather do, a reproduction sampler or an adaptation of that like pillow thing. So sampler. That's the word I'm going to look for. Don't use the word giveaway. Be over 18. And please be a subscriber. I would appreciate that. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, oh my God, you're missing out on absolutely nothing. Whatever, do what you want. So that's great. Yeah, so enter for that. Look out for some new releases coming next week at my website, Maximum Cross Stitch. Apparently, people have signed up for a newsletter. I didn't know that I had that option, so I'm going to have to come up with a newsletter. It's not going to be often. I can guarantee you that. I'm headed back out on the road in February for a month. It's not too bad. It's just a month, but that will eat into some stitching time. But maybe I'll be able to get some more work on Sarah Brazier if I take her out with me. Yeah, so I'm going out on the road, going back to visit my family next week. So I'm doing a little bit of traveling after I did not travel at Christmas. That's just an exercise in insanity. Yeah, so I've got some stuff coming up, but I hope to get back before too long, but we know how that goes. But if I allow myself to stitch more than models, I can actually have some stuff to show you. And I will be getting more models back that I can show you. So yeah, blah, blah, blah. This is boring. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you soon, and happy stitching. So until we meet again, rock on. And Santa is sniffing the bird's butt.